In the last half of the 1980s, uh, Wendy and I decided to take the three kids out to the lake. Wendy and her friends had purchased a small cottage out there. I forget where it was, Alberta Beach maybe, I'm not sure. So at the time, Wendy had a Celebrity, a car called a Celebrity. And the back of a Celebrity, the trunk is a flat surface, like almost like a table. You can put things on it. So Wendy, when we were first married, Wendy wasn't a very good cook, but it was really basic, edible. She cooked a lot. She was feeding, three kids and two adults. So she got used to cooking a lot, but she enjoyed learning about cooking. So she watched cooking shows, she learned more from friends, and she got better over the years, and now she's an excellent cook. But it took a while, it took years to perfect. Back in those days, one of the things that she made that a lot of people liked was chicken legs. She would marinate them in some special sauce and then bake them in the oven. Well, this time she made the chicken legs, marinated them, put them in a bucket so they could continue marinating until we got out to the cottage. So we had raw chicken legs marinating in a bucket with a cover on it, and amongst a bunch of other things that had to go to the car and be packed in the trunk, and then we take it out to the lake. So we were getting the kids to help, and the kids grabbed all these different things, lawn chairs, blankets, radio, whatever, and took it out to the car. And then I came out, and Wendy wasn't quite out yet. So I got to the car, and I noticed the kids kind of standing around the back end of the car. And I said, well, let's open the trunk and get the stuff in. And they said, well, there's been an accident. So they showed me, and what had happened was one of the kids had put that bucket of chicken legs on the trunk of the car, which if the car was on a flat surface, it would have been fine, but the car was on an angle. It was, the front was facing up at maybe a 5-degree slope, and as the car was being jostled around by the kids opening the doors, the bucket of chicken legs had fallen off the back, burst open, and the chicken legs were all over the ground. So quick thinking, I said, okay, we're going to put all that chicken back in the bucket, and we're not going to tell anybody. And we're just going to say that was to preserve Wendy's effort, and because otherwise we'd have nothing to eat out or very little, at the clinic, the cottage. So then I had to think of another way to get the kids to eat it, to accept to eat it. And I said, okay, we're going to call this a new recipe. We're going to call it Speedway Chicken. And you just have to chew it very carefully. Now, think about this. The chicken legs are covered with this gooey barbecue sauce, which collected all the sand and dirt and everything off of the concrete. The concrete was clean as concrete can be, okay? So this wasn't a sidewalk. This wasn't where there's dog crap. This is a driveway, and it was under the wheels, not the middle part where it gets engine oil dripped. It was clean concrete, so it would have had dust and would have had tiny little bits of gravel. I said I was going to call it Speedway Chicken, and I said I'm going to eat it because I'm going to be hungry by supper time when this is cooked. I said to the kids, this is going to go on a fire, open flame barbecue fire, and it's going to kill all the germs, and any sand that's got picked up in the sauce, most of that sauce is going to heat up and drip off anyway into the fire. So what you're going to be left with is sterilized chicken, and all the nasty stuff's going to be either burnt away or dripped away. So the kids faithfully kept the secret. We drove all the way out to the lake. We had our barbecue, and we all ate the chicken. But I did notice there was little bits of gravel in it once in a while. But to get around that, I said, to everybody, I said, be careful eating the chicken legs because occasionally there's a broken chicken leg and there's bone fragments. So you chew it very carefully and spit out anything hard. So within seconds of me discovering that there was nothing to eat for supper unless I picked that stuff up, I was able to cover all my bases, and luckily we all had a good supper and nobody died of food poisoning.